Hi, Dr. Paul Haider, Master Herbalist and Spiritual Teacher here. Well, what do you think this is? I probably got you this time. It has hmm, a beautiful, almost medicinally kind of medicinal kind of smell. Uh, it reminds me of something else I've had before, but I can't really put my finger on it. Maybe menthol or something like that. It just really pungent kind of smell. Oh, this is a lichen, and it's called Old Man's Beard, and you know, it is a powerful healing agent that does a great job of healing. Bacterial infections, fungal infections, viral infections, and all kinds of things, and it doesn't have any side effects of any kind. So that's really an amazing thing, and it's been used for over 3,000 years down through history, and it has done a great job, and I highly recommend. This is something that's trusted and undisputed when it comes to its healing abilities. So I highly recommend you keep this around or make a tincture with it, yeah, or a cream or anything that you need to be able to use this and keep it in your, herbal medicine chest. This is something amazing. If you live in the Pacific Northwest, from California up, you'll see this growing on pine trees. It doesn't grow on, other trees like walnut trees or will be oak trees, especially oak trees. That's a totally different fungus or lichen, excuse me, that grows on that. So this has to be on pine trees, and it just kind of hangs off like an old man's beard off the trunk or on the branches itself, and it's pretty beautiful in a way and kind of eerie in another way. It's very, very, very healing, though, an amazing thing. It kills staph infections and helps with respiratory challenges of all kinds. It helps with bronchitis and colds and flus, indigestion. It helps with urinary tract infection, vaginal and fungal and sinus infections, and works well for wounds, acne, boils, and skin infection, all kinds of things. I mean, it's all around good anti everything compound. It really is pretty amazing too. And like I said, no side effects. It's been used for 3,000 years in Egypt and China and Greece and all over the world. Even the Native Americans used it, and it's also known as Usnea Barbata, and a great healing agent. Other names are beard lichen, woman's long hair, old man's beard, as I was saying, um, beard moss, solongo in Chinese, it's Usnea harita, Usnea florida, Usnea lichen, and trees dandruff. Tree moss and all kinds of different names. There's thousands of different common names, so it can vary depending on the area that you live in. They might call it something totally different, but it's a beautiful thing. And like I said, it's not the same as the one that grows on oak trees. That one is totally different. So you want to make sure you get the one that grows on pine trees. So where it grows in North America, of course, and Asia, and China a lot. It grows in Europe and all over. It likes cool climates, on the coast where it gets dripping with a little bit of dampness on a regular basis. And a lot of people call it's really called old man's beard. That's probably the most common name. And it varies in color. This is kind of a light green. It can go almost to a black color, but commonly it's like a light green like this. And a wonderful, wonderful agent. It contains usnic acid, which kills gram-positive bacteria and stops the bacteria agent by breaking down the outer layer of the bacteria and causative agents in general. It's great for bacterial infections. I mean, it kills antibiotics without harming the probiotics. So that's really a great thing. So you don't have to worry about that. And also good for the microbiome, you know what I mean? So it's really important. And also kills staphylococcus and a couple different types of staphylococcus. And so these are some of the bacteria which we're having huge problems with because we have all these antibiotic resistant bacteria. So this is another way to help with that. Also a powerful antifungal agent, and it also kills candida, and can be taken internally and used topically on your skin also, and you can make it into creams and ointments and all kinds of different things, and it works really well. You know, it's really easy to make an ointment. You can just take take some tincture and add it to a little bit of anything. You can mix it up in a little bit of water and add a little bit of wax to it, you know what I mean? And that ends up making a nice ointment. Really nice. Very interesting. Also, antiviral, because it kills all kinds of viruses, pathogenic viruses, and that does a great job of doing that too. It helps with oral infections. So if you have infections of some kinds, maybe on your tongue or on your mucosa, it doesn't do as good a job as for bacteria as tea tree oil, but it does do a great job. And they use it in some commercial mouthwashes too. So this moss. So and they use it in lozenges and gargles and all kinds of things for strep throat. So really great. Also, it's an anti-inflammatory. It helps with pain and swelling and redness and inflammation in general. And so that's another positive aspect of old man's beard. If you have even arthritis, it can help with that too. Great for respiratory infections. And if you have bronchitis or a bacterial infection, a viral infection, any kind of bronchial infection, this can help in a great way. So remember this in case you end up with something that you're really having problems with and you can't breathe. This is something to keep around. Also, it helps with vaginal infections. It can be taken for vaginal yeast infections, bacterial vaginosis, chlamydia infections, and fungal infections in general for the vagina. And it really does a great job there also. And it really is a great thing for healing wounds. You know, if you got a scratch or a scrape or something, it's really good to especially catch this in the nick of time before it goes crazy. Put something on it. You know, we live here in a tropical climate, and if you don't do that, you'll end up with an infection that will be going up your arm, and you'll have redness all over it, and then you have a big problem. You end up in a hospital, and not good. Oh, in fact, one of our relatives just had that not too long ago. And I have had that a long, long time ago also, and it's not fun. There's no doubt about that. You don't want blood infection, so it's really not good. So it also works well for boils and acne, and you can make a cream or an ointment and put that on the boil, put on a dressing on top of that, a big Band-Aid or something, and that works really well for getting rid of that too. You know, boils are a tough thing. Sometimes they take a while to get rid of. I would mix this also with some of the drawing salve that you can buy at, or you make your own, and put it together with the old man's beard ointment, and that would do a great job too. Also, it helps with indigestion and problems. It improves digestion also. And it's kind of bitter. Anything that's bitter is really good for digestion and increases the digestive enzymes and that type of thing, so you break down your food better. And it's really important to I think a lot of people don't eat enough bitters these days. And I think in the years past, people knew that bitters were important in general. But we kind of gotten into the sweet thing. You know, we eat everything sweet. And it's not good. We need to have bitters in our life. Also helps with colds and flus. You know, old man's beard is a great agent for healing colds and flus, and actually shortens the duration of a cold or flu, and helps to get rid of excess mucus also. If you have excess mucus, you're actually swimming in it. And also with allergies, that type of thing, it can help with that too. So it's another thing that it does well. Urinary tract infections, it does a great job for bladder, urethra, and kidney infection. And there's probably not anything that works as well as old man's beard as this. And also helps with chlamydia infections. So that's a hard thing to get rid of on the average. So something to keep in mind. Also helps with chronic fatigue syndrome, along with changing your diet. Go on my diet at paulhaider.com. That'll help. Can help a bit with herpes also, and immune depression too. Also, it helps with some of the other topical things like ringworm. It can get rid of that too, and athlete's foot, and mastitis, inflammation of the mammary glands. That type of thing can also help. It can be made into a tincture. Take 1 ounce of the old man's beard. You take a bunch of this, and about an ounce or so. That'll probably be, this is about an ounce right here. Place this in a stainless steel pot. Add 4 ounces of filtered water and bring to a boil, and immediately place on a simmer until it gets about half its liquid, and let cool and completely, and add 2.5 ounces of vodka and place in a 8-ounce jar and place on the shelf and let it shake it every day. And after 30 days, then you'll have put it in a dropper bottle and use it, or a bunch of dropper bottles, and it really does a good job. It'll keep for a long time. And to make a cream, I find the best way to do that is take 1 part of tincture and place it in 5 parts of any over-the-counter natural face cream and mix that in, and does a great job. And makes it a lot easier to make that cream that way. Also used in the powder is used in commercial cosmetics and feminine napkins and baby diapers and skin creams, and also in deodorants to kill bacteria. All kinds of things it's used in. You probably just don't know that it's being used in that type of thing. You can find it as powders and capsules and teas and tinctures and creams and ointments. Yeah, you can make a tea from this too, which is good. It's a little bitter, so put a little bit of honey or stevia with it, and you can make it up that way. You can find it at on Amazon.com, eBay. Your local health food store may have it, or you can ask them to order it for you. The dose is 1 dropper full of tincture 2 or 3 times a day for no more than 7 to 10 days. So that's really important, no more than 7 to 10 days. And topically, you can take the tincture and dilute it in half with water, and you can dab that onto the infected area. Cost-wise, is very inexpensive. The tincture runs about $10 for an ounce, and that'll last you a long time. The teas run about $22 for about 24 tea bags. And of course, you're not going to be taking this every day. Once in a great while, you're going to be using it. The loose old man's beard, if you don't have it in your area to go harvest it yourself, and it comes back. Don't believe that it's going to disappear because you're harvesting it. It's all over the place when you find it. It runs about $7 for 4 ounces, and I have ordered it on eBay and Amazon and all kinds of different places. And that's a pretty good sized bag. I think this is a 4-ounce bag of Usnea, or old man's beard. Actually, I took some out of here too. And so that's a lot. It really is a lot. It'll last you a long time. There are no side effects if taken within 7 to 10 days. And so that's really a great thing, and should not be taken by those who are pregnant, nursing, or small children. And in its natural form as a tincture and powder, creams and ointments, it's very safe. And you should try it and give it a try and see how it works for you. A lot of people probably don't even know about it, about old man's beard or Usnea. I think it's really an important thing to keep around and try yourself. Lately I've been seeing a lot of people with anxiety. And I think it's really important that we understand that anxiety is fear held within. And when we have that fear going on inside, we can also, treat it with herbs. You can take some ashwagandha, you can take some valerian, you can take different things that you will help in the short run. But the real thing we have to do is understand what fear we have going on inside. And I think it's really important from a spiritual place to understand ourselves. If we have this fear and we're hiding from ourselves, that's really not good. A lot of people don't understand themselves in general, and I think it's really important to question ourselves. Well, why am I doing this? Why do I watch TV all the time? Am I hiding in that? A lot of people do. Why am I always going on a trip? Am I hiding in that? And why am I drinking? Am I hiding in that? Why am I always doing sex? Am I hiding in that? Why am I? All these different things. We usually put up a facade and hide behind something because we don't have to deal with it. There are things that we need to connect with and understand, but a lot of times from a spiritual perspective, we don't want to do that. We don't want to get to the deeper understanding of ourselves, what really would end up allowing us to be free. But a lot of times we don't allow ourselves to do that. And, medicating the problem doesn't make it go away. We need to find out, why am I afraid? And why am I afraid? Maybe we just need to talk. A lot of times we just need to have friends. Back, 100 years ago, you didn't see a lot of people with anxiety, but they had a lot of people around them, especially family, and they had a lot of friends, and it was a network because you had to be together to be able to survive. But nowadays, we kind of cocoon, we stay in our own little apartments or our little house or whatever, and we don't talk to anybody, and that's not healthy at all. So we need to get out and meet friends, join clubs, go on hikes with people and that type of thing, and then talk with people and share some of our problems with them so we can have interaction with people and allow that pressure cap to be loosened off that bottle so we can allow all that stuff out. And we feel better after that. There's no doubt about that, that there's been psychologists and psychiatrists for the last couple hundred years, but before that, it was just plain talking with somebody and allowing our feelings out. And we got to allow our feelings out. If we bottle them up, they'll explode. There's no doubt about that. And that comes out with more fear. So allow yourself to feel your feelings and know that this is the right things to do. If we hold on to those feelings, they don't allow us to heal and actually stops the body from healing itself. So allow yourself to express your feelings, understand your fear, and allow yourself to understand old man's beard. And you can heal all kinds of different ailments with old man's beard and enjoy life and keep that in your medicine cabinet whenever you need it for skin infection, or do you have a vaginal infection, or you have bronchitis or something else going on, even a digestive problem, a nice bitter, and keep it around for in case you need it, and take it for about 7 to 10 days, and you'll have a lot less problems in general. So have a wonderful, wonderful day. If you want to get a hold of me, my phone number is 831-869-9119. I just had somebody call me, in fact, just before I did this video. 831-869-9119. My email address is drpaulhaider@gmail. That's drpaulhaider@gmail.com. And if you're outside the country, that's probably the best way to get a hold of me. If you care to text me, you can do that. If you WhatsApp me, you might use that phone number also. I am available all kinds of different ways. Also, if you go to Facebook under Dr. Paul Haider, you can also message me at the top, but you have to be a Facebook person to do that. I figured that out the other day. Also, it's important that if you care to make a donation, please do so on my website, paulhaider.com, www.paulhaider, paulhaider.com. We appreciate that greatly so I can keep doing my research and help out a lot of people, and I help people all over the world. So please feel free to make a donation. I really, really, really appreciate that. And so we can keep this going and helping you in a great way. And also, if you care to contact me for spiritual things, also feel free about that. I can help you in some way. That is also great. And don't feel bashful. I'm here to help, but call early because I go to bed by 8 p.m. before the chicken, so make sure you call early and I'll get back to you. If you leave a message, I'll get back to you the next day. So have a wonderful, wonderful day, and remember, most of all, above everything else, I love you.